Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It's the Los Angeles Lakers going up against the Memphis.
And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for the Lakers, Nash and Bryant in the backcourt. And holding down the middle out of Central Michigan University, the skilled and ambidextrous 7-footer, Chris Kaman. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Gasol at the 4 slot. And then for Memphis, Conley and Allen are the guard set. And at the center position, an impressive combination of size and skill, the 7'1" Spaniard, Marc Gasol. Then there's Tayshaun Prince, and it's Randolph in at the 4 spot. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And there's the first bucket of the game.
Yeah, that's a nice tone setter out of the gate.
You know, we've seen a lot of change in terms of what Mike Conley could do each year on the floor. He started out, didn't really have much of a jump shot, really improved in that area. Now he's playing with so much confidence that no matter what the circumstance during the game, he believes he can get the job done.
And one of the biggest ways he's made contributions to his team is by taking the ball away from the opponents. I mean, he's excellent with anticipation and quickness and tenacity, particularly at the point of attack. You know, guys, you look at the roster of this Memphis team, and they have a lot to offer. Size and strength inside, playmakers on the perimeter, and improving an outstanding point guard in Mike Conley Jr., but you have to wonder, have they hit their ceiling?
6 on the shot clock. Gasol with it, and Kaman picks him up defensively. From deep. Chris Kaman pulls it in. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach of the Grizzlies. One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with him, body him up early, and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Well, Clark had talked about the Grizzlies don't have a megastar that other teams do to lean on in crunch time. Steve, you know, they traded the closest thing to that in Rudy Gay last season.
Well, closest thing is right, Kevin. Rudy Gay was not a superstar. He was very, very good, but if he was a true superstar, they would not have moved him. So I think they just felt like they couldn't afford Gay's contract. They wanted to move on and play through their big men, Gasol and Randolph. And I don't think, in the end, probably a wise decision because the team performed very well without Gay anyway.
Here's Kobe following the score by Memphis. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Outside Conley. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. Here's Gasol. Back to Prince. Memphis moving it around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The jump hook. And it's Memphis with another.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
1:46 left to play in the first quarter.
You know, it's interesting. Zach Randolph had a few off-the-court issues early in his career, especially when he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. And the Grizzlies gave up almost nothing to acquire him from the Clippers. But they've got to be glad that they did because he's developed into an outstanding player and really a good teammate as well. He's become a leader of that club.
Randolph was asked by someone in the press court, why was he such a great fit in Memphis? He said it's a blue-collar town. I'm a blue-collar type player. I kind of like that, Clark.
You know, that says it all right there to me, and I would factor in this too, Kevin. His strength and physicality certainly fit with the DNA of that team. Their culture is built on effort and bruising play, and Zach Randolph fits into that nicely.
Now here's Conley. He's got 5. Good on the shot.
Every time it gets scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
No, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
Here's Gasol. No luck. Some solid defense from Randolph. Memphis leading by 10. Here's Prince. There's the block. And pushing it out. Here's Los Angeles. Young for three. They get the rebound. And the basket by Hill.
Boy, what a great job making good on the second opportunity. He stayed with that play from start to finish.
Conley, the pass to Randall. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Conley against Nash. Clock at 6. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact here.
The offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layups. Earn it from the line.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. 15 seconds left to play in the first. There's the dish to Farmo. Passes it to Blake. He kicks to Farmo. Oh, good on the three. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Memphis.
And right from the start, guys, it's apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists. Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Kevin, Tony Allen has been a first-team all-defensive performer for 2 years running and one of the most intense players in the league. Teammate Mike Conley says, quote, he's like an Army general. He says crazy things, but goes out there and backs it up. He works as hard as he speaks. He gives 100% on every possession. Allen continues to try to make a name for himself, saying, quote, I want the whole league to know that I am a force. That's been my mentality since I came in. I'm grinding.
Well, they call it grit and grind. That's what he's brought. Thanks, Doris. And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks for it? I mean, I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play. Really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small, a team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, an older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition.
Right, yes.
You had a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
That's a good assessment.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And we can't forget to mention his rebounding now. When you watch him, just keep an eye on the way he battles in the paint when the shot goes up.
And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
A lot of noise coming from these fans. Pretty unhappy with that call.
Well, we've got a lot of amateur officials in the crowd, and not one of them liked it.
Davis dishes to Conley. Another miss by Conley.
Wow, I'm surprised. I thought that was definitely automatic. Mike Conley, the number 4 pick back in 2007 out of the Ohio State University. He wasn't an instant star in the NBA, but boy, has he continued to improve year in and year out.
And there's the feed to Pondexter. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. And Conley has played his entire career with the Memphis Grizzlies, improving alongside the team.
I feel like he's going to be an all-star before too long. He's the franchise's all-time leader in assists, but I think the stability and the faith that the organization has placed in him has helped him mature and helped him develop into where he is right now, which I think is one of the best point guards in the game.
I would agree. Hill, he's guarded by Davis. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Marc Gasol is checked in for Ed Davis. For Memphis, they've gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop.
Well, in many ways, the Grizzlies aren't like most teams out west. They don't try to overpower you with offense, and they don't have a superstar to lean on for big baskets at the end, but they still know how to get wins in the tough Western Conference.
You know, even from here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the official.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Davis is checked in. And when they did last year, Memphis would go 56-26 overall. And Steve, with 34 of those wins courtesy of other teams in the Western Conference.
Well, they didn't seem to play like a lot of the other teams in the West, but it didn't matter. I mean, defense, toughness, rebounding, they were who they were. They established their identity, and that's one of the reasons they became such a tough team in that conference.
Now here's Gasol.
No good.
Kaman with the defensive effort.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game, though.
Memphis leading. Pondexter kicks to Conley. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Steve Blake. The Grizzlies have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight. Pau Gasol is checked in for Jordan Hill. And Conley drops them both.
Shooting 100% in the quarter. They've made them all, taking full advantage at the line.
Well, it's a nice job of really making the most of their opportunities.
Kobe goes in. Gasol tried to free himself up. Shot's good by Kobe.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Conley, the pass to Bayless. Kicks it to Gasol. And that comes off the assist by Jared Bayless. And that's now 6 points for Marc Gasol. Kobe, that's for 2. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Second quarter ends in a tight one. Grizzlies lead by 3. Well, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show with Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
We're happy to be with you this Tuesday night. Keep it here on 2K.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Really an incredible game from Conley.
How about his first half? Just easily surpassing his average point total.
On pace for a monster game. Too bad he can't score like this every night.
Now, here's Nash. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Shot clock at 6. And here's Kobe for 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. They've led by as much as 10.
Well, let's start with the positive and the Lakers postseason. They did make it. That's all that can be said. Is the dramatic passing of Utah and the Rockets down the stretch to take the 7th seed was really the lone highlight of what would be a quick exit from the playoff form.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, the Lakers. It's a 3-point game. Nash against Conley. Just 4 to shoot. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Going back to the Lakers, swept in 4 straight by the Spurs, and none of the games really that close. Spurs, Steve, just dominated them in every sense of the word. Injuries didn't help either.
No, they didn't help, but you know, the Spurs just outplayed whoever was on the floor for L.A. And I think a lot of people thought that the Spurs would be a good first-round matchup for the Lakers, but that notion was quickly squashed. San Antonio just totally dominant.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Guys, for Dave Yeager, the new Grizzlies head coach, 6 seasons with them as an assistant. Before that, he won 5 titles coaching in the minor leagues. Yeager said, quote, "This is a blue-collar town, and I'm the blue-collar guy. I came up the hard way. I came up through the minor leagues. This is something I've been preparing for a long time. Guys," he says, "he knows how to win. We'll see how he does."
Thanks, Doris. That confidence has certainly served him well. And the Lakers with another miss.
Boy, and you look at Marc Gasol, the defensive player of the year last season. Many people question that when you consider some of the other outstanding defenders in the league. Maybe not the image that you have in your head when you think of a dominant defensive center. But he is nonetheless, because he does a lot of the little things, his positioning, his use of his body, his challenging of shots. You know, and at 7'1", he moves pretty well and always knows where to be and is the anchor for that strong Memphis defense.
Bayless is checked in for the Grizzlies. Lakers trail by 6. There's 1:54 left in the third quarter. Offensive rebound, Kaman. And he banks in the layup. Kaman's got his first 2 points of the night.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
Going back to Marc Gasol and his role in the great Memphis defense, and it was terrific from tip to tail. He's got that big frame to hold his ground inside.
And Kevin, sometimes bigger centers can get exposed in pick and roll coverage, but that's where his basketball IQ helps. He's not the fastest or quickest guy, but he always reads situations and puts himself in the right position defensively.
He avoids careless fouls too. Yeah, it's an important part of his game. And that is good.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Nash, defended by Bayless. Kobe dishes to Young. They get it back. Here's Gasol, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Strong rebounding, and he's rewarded with the easy putback.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Conley's checked in. The Lakers have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
Well, you look at the Lakers' struggles last season, I think it surprised most of us. You know, some of it was injuries. Part of it was just a lack of production off the bench. Then there was the inconsistency of the coaching and just the number of different people who were on that bench. So, difficult season for the Lakers.
Here's Nash. Following the score by Tayshaun Prince. Gasol with it. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. Some nice passing here by Los Angeles. Kobe can't hit.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
And you look at the struggles of the Lakers bench last season when injury struck. They didn't have the players really to fill that void.
Yep. You know, Kevin, I think for the Lakers, the bold strokes for the star players have been impressive, but it's the fine details of finding undervalued role players. That's where they've been lacking. Once injuries happen, that was thrown into sharp relief. And really, even when healthy, to win a title, you can't just have a great starting 5. We know that. You need another 4 or 5 players you can count on to give you quality minutes.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Here's Conley, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Grizzlies?
Fellas, it's impossible to ignore what a good job they've done at the free throw line throughout the game.
And then look at the points in the paint because they're really winning that battle tonight.
Here's Gasol. He trains the turnaround jump shot. Gasol's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Grizzlies. Kobe goes in. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Pau Gasol is checked in for the Lakers. And here's Young from the arc. It's rebounded by Gasol. Memphis leading by 5. Conley gets the bucket. The Lakers shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, guys, Kobe Bryant is now the longest tenured Laker ever. Magic called him the greatest Laker ever. On a team that's had so many terrific players, that is a monumental statement.
And for Kobe, he said at this point, he'll never go to another team. It's important for him to retire a Laker. You don't hear that from a lot of guys.
No, Reggie Miller with the Pacers, Larry Bird with the Celtics, but not often. And I think it does add to a player's legacy, and it adds to the history and the legacy of the franchise as well. So I think it's important that Kobe remains in that Laker jersey.
Just 5 on the clock. Kobe with the steal. Oh, and here we go with Kobe with nobody back. The rim is shaking.
Seems to me that anytime the game is on the line, I mean, he's perfectly willing to be the hero or the GOAT for that matter. And that's what it takes to be clutch in big situations. You can't be afraid to fail.
And Steve, very few players have his finishing ability. We see him get a lot of and ones because even if he draws hard contact, he is able to play through that and typically score. He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Young outside, launches a 3. The Grizzlies pull it in. Gasol's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Allen kicks to Conley. Allen with the screen for Conley. 6 to shoot. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. And it's a 7-point Grizzly lead.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike D'Antoni was discussing with his players. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
Gasol passes to Conley. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That's foul number 2 for him. Young with the steal.
That was an ill-advised pass to attempt. He had to know there was... Oh, how about that basketball, man? Wow.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
Oh, that certainly could be costly. In a close one, those kinds of mistakes can really give the other team momentum.
1:32 left in the 4th quarter of this one. Kobe against Allen. Gasol dishes to Kobe. Young outside. To tie it up. And Gasol with the lay-in. That one just took the air right out of the crowd.
Yeah, he simply said, sit down and keep quiet with that one.
Yeah, that's right. Nothing coming out of these fans now.
It's the first that gives them the lead.
In the first half, he was able to get to the line a little bit more. Let's see if he can pick it up here.
Second one is good. He both at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
No problem for him there. You just know what the result's going to be when he steps to the line in a tight game like this.
He gets it to go. And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Conley kicks to Allen. Oh, hammered! And he'll go to the line. It's going to be on Kobe Bryant.
Well, they did have a foul to give, but they couldn't get it done before the shot attempt.
Yeah, you really want to try to foul in that situation before he gets into the shooting motion, and it just didn't work out that time.
Great composure at the line. A lot of pressure on those free throws, but he stepped up and buried them.
Outside Kobe. Gasol. Young from outside nails the tray.
And that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
Dexter with it. He's against Young. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Tayshaun Prince is checked in for Quincy Pondexter. 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And off a screen on Nash. And it's Conley penetrating. Here's Randolph. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Gasol. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Smart foul there. You've got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Man, pressure-packed free throws, but he looks cool as can be. So big, but give them that 3-point lead.
There's 18 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. It's in! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
They had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 3-point game. And here we go with Michael Conley. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That will get him his 4th foul of the game and give the bonus. We'll head to the line for 2. And Conley drops them both. And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
And a chance here to send it into overtime.
Need a 3.
Money! And that shot brings them to within just 1. And now they decide to foul intentionally. First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. So he gets them both, and it's a 3-point game. For the tie. Oh, he couldn't make that shot go to force overtime. And so it's the Lakers who come out on top here. It was tight, but they managed to come up with